Hey guys, so these are some very interesting things that I'm looking at currently, and I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and share them with you. Now, what I'm about to share is a vision or a dream that one of our brothers have had 15 years ago, guys. And it's in regards to what's currently unfolding there in the Strait of Hormuz over there in the Middle East. And also the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier ship. Now I'm going to go ahead and play this very short clip, and I'll be right back.
I got a dream back on December the 10th of 2012. I've been holding on to this dream for a while and praying about it, but it's like the Lord keeps bringing this dream back up to me to get this warning out. And what I saw in this dream, I saw myself on a submarine, and it was sitting on the ocean floor, and there was an aircraft carrier that was approaching, and it was very close. It was in firing range, and I saw that other personnel, like other officers, was talking to the captain to fire at this submarine, and they were sitting there to sink this aircraft carrier, and the captain said no, we were going to wait till it turns and goes down this narrow canal. And the captain said if we fire now, they will see us, like possibly on radar, and they would destroy the submarine. So the aircraft carrier made a right turn down this narrow canal, and then the submarine made its move. But before it fired, I woke up from the dream. I do not know what country the submarine belongs to, or the aircraft carrier, but the submarine was waiting for this aircraft carrier to approach and to go down this canal. This was a planned attack, and this is something for all of us to pray against, because if that ever happened or occurred, that's possible that could bring on World War III or a major conflict in whatever region this is in.
Okay guys, so you've heard it for yourselves, and this revelation is all in addition to the one that I had previously shared with you guys that came from Jeff Byerly. This one is in addition to that one. Now we're going to quickly go through it, and I'm going to share with you some things that I find to be very interesting. Now, his entire testimony, I want you guys to keep this in mind. The key word that he mentions is that it's a planned attack. That is the key word. That's what I picked up. Now first, let's quickly run through what he said. So he said that basically in this vision or dream, he was sitting in a submarine. So he was in a sub at the bottom of the seafloor. And while he was there, there was this aircraft carrier that was passing in range, in close distance, in firing distance to them. And while he was there in the submarine, he saw these soldiers telling the captain that they should go ahead and shoot down, or to go ahead and fire on the aircraft carrier that was sliding just above them. And then the captain went ahead and told the soldiers that no, we won't do that, because if we do that, we risk retaliation, and they might end up, blowing up the sub. So the captain went ahead and told them that, they should just wait until the ship heads down to the canal. And I find that to be very interesting. This was 15 years ago, guys. And that canal that this brother here was seeing, the one that he spoke of, is none other than what we're looking at here on the screen. The Strait of Hormuz, guys. This is the canal that he was speaking about in what he saw in his vision 15 years ago. And then he said that something else that I find to be interesting, the aircraft carrier made a right turn. And then he went on to wake up out of the dream before he saw that, they went and did the attack. But some things that you guys might want to know. The USS Abraham Lincoln is somewhere off the coast of the Gulf of Oman. This is where it's currently positioned, somewhere near here, right around the circle right here, off the coast of Oman, right here, which in my opinion is just not wise at all. Obviously, it is not wise. So in order for it to turn right, it would have to come down here and then veer to the right, which would fulfill that specific part of this brother's dream. Now, according to our brother's dream, the submarine was already laying at the bottom of the sea floor in anticipation of the aircraft carrier to make that move. And judging by what he said, the whole thing that he explained, it appears as if it's currently playing out in real time today. Because like I said, the USS Abraham Lincoln is currently positioned somewhere around here. And basically, it's entirely up to them whether they would cause this prophecy to be fulfilled. It's entirely up to them, to the captain. Because if at any time they were to sail down here and head further down towards the canal, that would seal their fates. You see, basically, that's what the dream is saying. Because if they come anywhere down here, apparently, even currently, guys, there's a submarine that's laying somewhere down here, right around here, on the seafloor, silently waiting, unknown to them, waiting for them to head down here to make this right turn and heading into the Strait of Hormuz. And that would be a very big mistake, a very costly mistake, guys. They would literally seal their fates if they were to do that. Now, we have the Iranians over here to the north, and they've since sunk, I think it was 11 ships since the start of this war. And I think just today, which is the 11th of March, they sunk 3 commercial vessels. I think one of them was a Japanese ship, and one of them was a Thai ship, and another one as well. And they have stated explicitly that any ships that enter down here will be met with fire, will be met with rockets nonstop, that they will attack and sink any ship that comes down here. You see, they've explicitly stated that over and over again. So if this USS Abraham Lincoln or any other ship were to come down here, that would literally just give the Iranians a green light to attack them. And so from my observation and how narrow this canal is, well, actually, it's a lot bigger than what it appears here on this map. But regardless of that fact, it's still narrow in regards to, war games, etc. Wisdom is to not go down this narrow canal at all, guys. I mean, that is pretty obvious to anyone that's paying attention. I wouldn't even be parked up anywhere near here. I'd be all the way out here. But I'm wondering if it's the lust for power and gain and plunder that's causing these people to make these very poor decisions. Because from someone who's not even a captain or have any experience in war strategy, I mean, it's pretty obvious that you see this very narrow canal here, and over here to the north is filled with rockets. I mean, uncountable rockets from the Iranians, which has proven to be effective so far with so many ships. Why in God's world would you think to even take that same route as these other ships and ignoring these warnings? Unless, of course, you're totally underestimating your enemies, which is just not wise. That is the fastest way if you want a ship to sink. Now, concerning this ship, guys, did you know that a USS Lincoln ship has already sunk in the past? Yes. The USS President Lincoln ship sunk in 1918 in World War I. It's not the exact same name, but it's similar enough. This one that we have currently is the USS Abraham Lincoln. The one that sunk in 1918 is USS President Lincoln. So it's just President instead of Abraham. I still believe there's like basically no difference. They're basically the same name. So that ship, the USS President Lincoln, sunk in 1918 in World War I. You know, it was coming from France and heading back towards the USA. And it was struck with a German missile, a German torpedo, I believe. And it sunk in 20 minutes, guys. And yes, of course, there was casualties. Now, what we're looking at is history about to repeat itself? And like I said, guys, these are just some things that I'm, looking at and find to be very interesting. It appears as if this ship is heading right into a trap. And none are the wiser. None aboard this ship are the wiser. And that's all as a result of ignoring the leading and the guidance of Yah and his spirit. You see, they're under the command of spoiled children. And that will be the consequence of that. They make poor decisions. As a matter of fact, in my opinion, I believe the poor decision was in the first place to take yourself from all the way around here in the West and head down there into these people's territory to exert force and power. And I honestly do believe that Babylon is about to be surprised. They're about to reap what they sow. You see, they're about to be humbled. Because this move on their part was high folly. Even this, going down here in the Strait of Hormuz, guys, is high folly. I mean, even a blind man can see it. But like I said before, sometimes your lust for power and for plunder, for gain can blind you. And I believe this is what will force them, will pull them. It's like hooks, like the plunder and the amount of the loot are like hooks that are being placed into them, and they find it to be irresistible, and it will cause them to ignore reason. And for that reason alone, guys, I believe that they will enter down here, which will seal their fates. That would be just a great tragedy, guys, because these ships, like the USS Abraham Lincoln, they usually house like up to 5,000 to 6,000 people, guys. That's a lot of souls. So we better pray for these people, because like I said, they're under the command of people that are making very poor decisions, and their lives are basically in the hands of these people, unfortunately. So there you have it, guys. These are some things that I'm checking out, and I find it to be very interesting. We have the Iranians here armed with so many rockets, all different types of rockets, guys. And they've already sunk so many other ships. And they've continuously warned that any ships that enter anywhere down here will go down. And if anyone has any wisdom, you see, they wouldn't take that threat lightly. They would observe this canal here and see that it's literally like a death box, or a kill box, as they call it. So yeah, this is what I'm looking at, guys. And I thought that it was very interesting. It was interesting enough for me to share it with you all. And also coming from this prophecy from 15 years ago. This was a carefully planned out, a strategic plan to bait this ship down into this canal so that they may sink it. This is what it all is, guys. So there you guys have it. This is what I saw, some things that I'm looking at, and I thought that I wanted to share it with you all. You guys do with this information what you will. You can go ahead and pray for the souls on the ship. It appears as if prophecies are about to be unfold right before our very eyes. Now, you guys, please take care of yourselves. Peace and shalom. Until next time.